Class, hello, hello. Welcome back, once again, to Book Club. Tim, remind me, what the hell are we reading this week?
This week we are reading Book 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, hey, wait a minute. This doesn't track. This doesn't make sense. I thought we were reading Boba.
Guess again, bitch!
Yep, pretty much my exact thoughts when watching the show, starting with Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian. I'm gonna say right off the bat, it's close with another episode, but I think this is my favorite episode of the show, at least of the season, period. What about you, man?
I did like it a lot. It was a solid episode. It was just like very funny to me seeing this and just being like, this is just the whole episode of The Mandalorian in the middle of the book of Boba Fett.
You put Mando in the middle of my Boba!
You got Boba on my Mando.
Yeah, pretty much same. Like, you see those meat curtains? You know, when you're in a butcher shop, they have those meat curtains. You know what I'm talking about? Meat curtains.
Say it one more time.
The meat curtains. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah, the meat curtains, right?
Yeah. You know, it's like the plastic looking ones. You go in and you see all the meat.
Meat curtains.
Is that a euphemism for something?
It might be.
Anyway, he has the Darksaber and he's bounty hunting. He's doing his little thing. He's depressed because he lost his son. Understandable. Because as you know, Tim, the Mandalorian is a father.
He might be.
Which means he's a dad. And Mando proves that Dad's rock, baby! I had to get it out of my system before we went on too long. It's just a great, solid episode of him just Mandoing. You know, he finds his people again. His people tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. It was like kind of a funny moment where she's just like, "Have you taken your helmet off?" And he's just like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's like a toddler. You know, when toddlers are caught, they're like, "Oh no!" They like start to shrink and get quiet. It felt like he was a toddler getting caught sticking his hand in the cookie jar. I love the Naboo starfighter. I love seeing the prequels acknowledged in any way. I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool to see that particular ship. I have weird like memories associated with that ship because I had the pool floaty of that ship as a child. So I associate, like, whenever I see the Naboo starfighter, I associate it with like going to the pool and just floating on my little Naboo starfighter floaty.
I have a copy of Episode 1 Starfighter around here somewhere. The PC game, which with the Naboo starship on the cover. One thing I want to bring up, though, is that Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode. And can we give her a Star Wars movie? Can we let her do a Star Wars movie? Her episodes of these shows have consistently been like some of the best. I love the way she directs these episodes. We gave her dad a Star Wars movie. We should give her one, right? Except it'll probably get fucking canceled like every other fucking Star Wars movie now. Okay, I didn't say anything. Let's talk to the Dave Filoni directed episode of this season. From the Desert Comes a Stranger. Yet again, just another early episode of Season 3 of Mandalorian. The episode has some high highs. Has some low fucking lows. Very low. How about you describe the episode first, Tim? I'll let you go first, and then I'll take over.
I would say that I overall enjoyed the episode. Like Tanner said, it has some issues. I guess some stuff with Luke and Grogu, which I have mixed feelings on.
I want to praise the effects, because the effects are fucking remarkable. They've already done such a much better job than the end of Mando 2.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Luke being in these shows in general. I think that like his presence in the Mando season 2 finale, like that was like the perfect kind of balance. Like a lot of people were talking about how like that was sort of like the other side of the coin of The Last Jedi, where like both of these things are crucial to like seeing his progression. Like you see him as the legend and you see him as the tired man who
they complement each other.
Yeah, exactly. It shows just sort of a development of his character.
It makes his fall that much more palpable, and honestly, in my opinion, makes The Last Jedi even better. But
yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I feel like what makes these shows strong is that they're able to focus on stuff that either is brand new or it has been like less of a focus in the movies. Like Boba Fett is a movie character who, like, it's cool that he's getting his show because he didn't have that much focus. Yeah, I don't think that it should really harp on characters like Luke. Luke has had more than his amount of time. He doesn't really need to be the focus of these shows. Like I think that giving him like this whole episode, while I did kind of enjoy like the training stuff with him, like him trying to do the Yoda thing. I don't know. I didn't really jive with it too much ultimately.
So first off, the voice still sucks. The voice still
Yeah.
sucks. Every line delivery still sounds robotic to me, and I can hear the little inhuman inconsistencies in there. That bothers me.
Very good.
Because you know they have Hamill on set for these, but they're not de-aging him. What they do is Hamill will come in and act as he believes Luke would act. He gives a performance. Then the body double comes in, tries to replicate that beat for beat perfectly. Then the effects team comes in and does all that stuff. And then they also use a robot to make his voice talk. And honestly, I think this is our fault. I think if Solo didn't bomb, Disney wouldn't have such a fucking aversion to recasting these characters. But Solo bombed, and they wrongly think Alden Ehrenreich was the problem. He wasn't. I'm not a super fan of the digital character. I think it has horrifying implications for the future of acting as a craft, because there's no craft. There's no acting craft to be admired here. Yeah, I get there, but here's the thing. Mark Hamill does a performance, then a body double copies that, and then a computer copies that. There's so many layers removed from what was actually acting. It's just a lifeless husk being puppeteered, okay? The implications on the future of acting as a craft are terrifying because of this digital Luke, and I want Disney to stop, and I wish more people were angry about it. Because here's the thing. It's one thing if you have a giant CGI character like Thanos or the Hulk, okay? That makes sense. That's fine. There's also still an actor acting. They're using mocap, you know? There isn't a person, it's just a computer. It's a lifeless digital recreation. And you can tell because it sounds weird. And beyond that, I think they made a fundamental mistake with Luke's character. Because at the end of the episode, they're like, Grogu, you either pick the lightsaber. By the way, I have Yoda's lightsaber. What the fuck was up with that? I thought they lost that on Coruscant. Where did he get that? He's making him do this dumb choose thing because he's like, you have to give up attachment. Fuck you! You want to know why Luke was able to beat the Emperor? Because he simply loved his father and wouldn't give up on him. He was insistent that his father still had good in him because of his connection, because of his attachment to him. So to see Luke turn around and try to make the same mistakes that the original Jedi made, which is what caused his father to fall in the first place, what the fuck? Like, this is what people who watch The Last Jedi must feel like. I feel like they fundamentally screwed up Luke's character here in a very, like, obvious way, and it's very confusing that more people aren't pointing this out. Let's move on to can we move on to the best cameo in the episode, which was Cobb Vanth.
Gentlemen, behold! Corn!
Timothy Oliphant's cool. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, I do like seeing him make a return, and like I did like kind of like the whole like
It's called Freetown now.
We changed the name. Suits us better.
because it's just like the most like America name ever. I love
America! Fuck yeah! You know,
we did it. We got Tanner to reference Trey Parker film.
Fuck yeah!
That whole section leads to the moment of the episode that made me lose my shit, which was the live action debut of Cad fucking Bane.
He looks incredible. That's a costume, I think. I don't think it's CG. I think the
Yeah.
mouth is enhanced by CG, but for the most part, it's a practical costume.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, done with practical effects, which it looks great. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing him. I think that the way he was portrayed in this version, just like very intimidating, which is great, and just like very Western. This scene was very much like that scene in Bad Batch where he first comes in and has standoff with Hunter and just pow pow.
Yeah, just fucks him up. And
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth does not get away as easily as Hunter does.
Not as easily.
Well, you think he's
We'll
dead
get to that later.
until later, but we'll get to that later. Also, Ahsoka's in this.
Yeah, and whatever. Moving on.
Well, no, hold on. I did love the line where Ahsoka told Luke,
So much like your father.
for some reason that made me choke up. I don't know. That worked for me. I know I spent the whole time ranting, but then the idea of Ahsoka saying that to Luke like got me in the feels.
Yeah, I do kind of like the idea of like Luke and Ahsoka being together because yeah, like we have Anakin's son and Anakin's Padawan together, and that's kind of neat in a way. I just I don't know. I'm not a super huge on live action Ahsoka.
All right, so you ready to move on to the season finale and what might actually be my favorite episode?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. This is where it all comes to head. This is when it becomes the Boba Fett show again, because he actually does feel like the main character of this episode.
Yeah.
And
Well, like I kind of said, like these past two episodes were very much set up, and this one is very much payoff.
And boy,
which I
does
think
it
is
pay
very good.
off. First off, I'm pretty sure the episode starts with an X-Wing flying in the Tatooine. And you think, oh, Luke's going to help save the day. No, Luke just put Grogu in a fucking starship and said, all right, R2, take his ass to Tatooine. Let's hope Din's there. Like, what the fuck? What if he was wrong? What was his plan? Just leave the child there?
Listen, Grogu's 50. He'll figure it out.
You know,
It's
he's a
fine.
man. He'll figure it out. Grogu
He's had
made
50
his
years to
choice.
figure out how to fly a starship.
Grogu made his choice. He picked the armor. He picked Mando. He picked love, which was so adorable. Grogu in general is just adorable this episode. Every time Grogu walks, my heart melts.
The wide shot of him walking towards the Rancor is the funniest shot in the whole series.
It's very funny, but also it makes my heart. He's just like,
He just waddles.
hold on, it's like, like when the Rancor roared at him, I was praying to the God above that he'd just be like, just scream back at him with his tiny voice. Yeah, this episode's sick as hell. The Pike Syndicate is invading Mos Espa. Boba's like, hey, Cad Bane, I recognize you. You put a dent in my helmet in a questionably canonical episode of the Clone Wars that was never made. The people of Freedom Town help. There's this cool scene where, like, all the crime lords that agreed to stay out of it immediately get involved.
Yeah, I think that like the big shootout was a lot of fun. Like just getting everybody together to fight against the Pikes, and then the Pikes bring out their big guns with the Scorpionic droids, which are super cool. They're just like giant droidicas, basically. They're just like impenetrable. Like they have just like super duper shields. Then that's when we get into the big moment.
One of the best moments in the history of Star Wars happens here, right? One of the best moments in all of Star Wars history. Boba says, Mando, keep him busy. I'll be right back. And I'm like, what the fuck is Boba Fett planning? And then you hear a roar. And I go, I recognize that roar. Is that? And then the camera pans to reveal a fucking Rancor's loose on the city. And I go, I said to my dad, please let Boba be on its back. Please tell me Boba's riding it. Please tell me Boba's riding it. So the camera tilts up and reveals that Boba Fett's riding it. And I lost my shit. I started I went, yeah, he's on a fucking Rancor! What? And I would like to proudly declare this, as our great guest Phil Hess said in the Yu-Gi-Oh podcast a few weeks ago, I would like to proudly enter this in the pantheon of Gatorade get hyped moments, because I think Boba Fett riding in on a goddamn Rancor counts as a Gatorade get hyped moment. What say you?
I think that that's one of them. Like, this moment in the Cad Bane entrance are the moments where I said, yes!
Yeah, those are Gatorade get hyped moments. That's when you just, like, you let yourself just, you can't help but let yourself be a fan, you know? You can't help but, like, any type of critical eye melts away, and you're like, I am happy. I am in peace. I am in joy. This is apparently the opposite of what... I'm going to tell you this thing. You know what fans are complaining about with this episode?
What?
There's a shot where the black guy of the speeder bike game is, like, helping to carry the Wookiee away to safety, and they're getting shot at. So he lets go of the Wookiee, does a spin, and shoots. People are complaining about the spin. People are unironically saying that spin ruined Star Wars for them. People are saying this, Tim. It's not a joke.
I don't even remember this. This is why I don't listen to fucking Star Wars fans. They are so goddamn stupid, and they complain about the dumbest fucking shit.
Okay, first off, it's not cringe. Secondly, Boba Fett rode in on a goddamn Rancor. Shut up, you child. And most importantly, Grogu saves the day. And we just talked about it, the waddle, and then he calms the Rancor down. Warmed my heart. Yeah, I loved the season finale. It was a lot of fun. Just a bunch of action figures thrown at each other. I love the way Robert Rodriguez does these things. I understand why a lot of other people find it mediocre. If you just don't get hooked by Boba's story, I get it. I did, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think that it did a lot to make Boba a more interesting character, and like it made him a badass, but not in a hollow way. Like there's definitely like a lot there to him. The Mando stuff, I think 2 episodes of it was a little much, but I do think like those episodes are still solid.
Boba has a combined 2 minutes of screen time across those 2 episodes.
Well, he's like straight up not in one of them.
He's not in 5 at all, and then he barely shows up near the end of 6.
Yeah, I do think that was a little excessive, but like I do still think those were good episodes. The final battle between Boba and Cad Bane, I thought that was really good. It was a good send-off for him. I think that like if they had to kill him off, they did it in a way that like made him like really cool. There's one shot in particular where it's looking up at Cad and he has the gun pointed at Boba. It's just like the coolest fucking like cowboy western shot I've ever seen in my life.
And Rodriguez
so
was perfect for it.
Yeah. With all this like bombastic stuff going on in this episode, I thought that was just like a great isolated fight.
Very subdued, and I loved that aspect of it. I love Fennec Shand at the end just murking everyone.
Yeah.
Like a silent assassin. I loved that. Yeah, I really like the show a lot. I think it's great. I think I don't like it as much as I like Mandalorian. I think I've reached the conclusion that season 1 of Mandalorian was like this fucking magic in a bottle in general. And I'm not sure we'll ever replicate that, but that's fine. I'm a really big fan of the live action Star Wars show so far, just in general.
Yeah, I think that this had higher highs for me.
I would agree, especially those last 2.
Also maybe lower lows.
I would also agree, especially those second last.
But overall I've been enjoying the live action Star Wars stuff.
You know what else I love, Tim?
Your mom.
Well, yes, but you, the person watching this vidcast. Thank you very much for watching this vidcast. Please go ahead in the comment section below. What do you think of the Book of Boba Fett? Do you think the spin move is cringe? If so, get the fuck out. What did you think of the 2 episodes that are just Mandalorian? Do you find Luke Skywalker to be a terrifying implication for the future of filmmaking? Because I do. Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon so you can know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you also very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next vidcast series, which will be with Rain and I, where we talk about Moon Knight. And of course, stay tuned for Obi-Wan and also sometime this year, Better Call Saul vidcast. It'll be a lot of fun. See you then.
May the Schwartz be with you.
So yeah, I guess Grogu and Mando's together again. But I don't think we should tell people that, okay? Here's what I think we should do. There are people out there who only watch Mandalorian, you know, right? There has to be. We don't tell them. We just let them be fucking confused when Season 3 starts and the 2 of them are reunited again. We'll just let them be confused.
I mean, if they chose not to watch this video, they screwed themselves. They should have... They should have been keeping updated on the Bomb Squad talks about the Book of Boba Fett.
The
Bomb Squad reads the Boba Fett.
All right.
Whatever we called this show.
Branding, my guy. Branding.
Whatever we called this show. I don't know. I just edit these things.
I just work here.